All right. Hey guys, we're here today with our friend Tulsy Ball. He's come out with a new product that we get to share with you today. This is not a nutritional supplement at all. It's for hair growth and lash and brow. So we're excited that you get to share with us. So we haven't personally used this yet, but we're going to. This one is for hair. And then these two are the brow and lash serum. So tell us all about it. How, like even the history. Why did you come up with this?
So we started actually working on this project almost 5 years ago. It was in 2021, and as you know, the world was kind of shut down during COVID, so we had plenty of time to look around and do R&D. And we came across a study that had been done in Japan and Korea, where they looked at the two ethnic groups in the world that had the least rate, the lowest rate of androgenic alopecia, which is male pattern baldness. And those two groups were the Mongolians and the Native Alaskans. And so they looked at what they had in common, and what both groups had in common is the use of chaga as a soap or a shampoo that they washed their hair with. And in both of those groups, the rate of male pattern baldness is 1 in 500.
Oh, wow.
Extremely low. It's like
Yeah.
literally 0.2% of their men have male pattern baldness. And so by far better than most. So they started doing a study on it in 2012 in Japan. And what that study showed is that there are certain compounds in chaga that, when applied to the hair follicles, actually work better, 170% better than minoxidil at regrowing hair and retaining hair during its shedding phase. So, because hair has four different phases of its growth. It's it has the growth, then it has the basically where it stays, and anagen, telogen, and then there's the shedding phase, and then it goes into dormancy and regrowth. So, and that's usually a 6 month process for your hair. With the natives, they discovered that during the shedding and regrowth phase, that it actually worked better than minoxidil. Like I said, 170%. So we had read that study and said, well, this is fantastic. But the only problem is the method that they used for extraction was prohibitively expensive. Getting to those compounds, and generating them for use in a product. I know we've talked about inatadiol before. Inatadiol is the driver in this product, in this formulation, and in the study. And their method of extraction of inatadiol costs $5,000 a gram to get it. So you can imagine it would be a very, very expensive product to put on your head. Um,
Right.
so, what we set about doing was utilizing, kind of an improvised process to extract that compound specifically from the chaga, along with the other triterpenoids, which are the complex of acids that include inatadiol, betulinic acid, trametinolic acid, lanosterol, and getting all of those in a single extraction and doing it for a cost-effective method. So we figured out how to do that. And it's at least less expensive than it would be, a lot less actually. And then went through some studies. We looked at what compounds would complement the Chagas compounds in a synergy, as well as give more horsepower to the product, and and give the best delivery form to get it through the layers of dermis and down through the sebum, which is the sheath that surrounds a hair follicle. And so we worked with another lab in Kansas City who have decades of experience in making hair products, and we developed the hair rejuvenation serum. And we did a year of studies with it. We've had some amazing results. We did some work with some of Chris Wark's team, and put that together with some people who were going through treatment for chemotherapy and radiation treatment, and we have a study that's shown that people who are dealing with that between 3 and 9 months of use, and what their hair retention and hair regrowth was. So it's really been an amazing kind of journey over the last 5 years to get this product researched, developed, and then packaged, tested, and ready to go. What's been amazing is, minoxidil is the number one prescribed pharmaceutical for use for hair loss. But there's some problems with minoxidil. Its mechanism of action, how it works, is that it affects the testosterone and estrogen levels in your body. And so it has negative effects for men in terms of their potency and their testosterone levels. It has negative effects for women because it screws with hormones, and it is contraindicated for women who are under the age of 18, women who are postmenopausal, and women who are dealing with cancer. You cannot use it, nor can men who are dealing with cancer. And so one of the fantastic things about this product is that it is safe. It is actually, everything in it is 100% food grade. You could literally eat it, although I don't think you would necessarily want to. But it is 100% safe. It is everything in it is natural. It is non-steroidal, and it is safe for use during treatment. And that's really the best thing about it, because if you know how hair loss works during chemo or radiation, it's not like it all falls out at once. It starts shedding. In other words, the drugs tend to accelerate the shedding phase of your hair, and it starts to come out as you go through treatment, and then it will generally regrow. But there's changes to many people's hair during the regrowth afterwards. Some people never get their hair back the same. Sometimes it comes back a different color. Sometimes it comes back in patches. It's very, it can be a damaging process for your follicles. So,
or curly. I know we know people who have lost hair through chemo treatment, and then it came back curly, and they never had curly hair before.
yeah, I mean, it does a number on it. So, that's one of the things that we're really excited about is that, we have a product that if you start taking it during treatment, at the beginning of treatment, it's safe to use during treatment, and it will help offset the shedding and also help the regrowth begin faster.
Yeah. In your studies, was there anybody who they were supposed to lose their hair and then turned out they didn't lose as much, or anything?
So we have had a few cases like that, and that's so it's funny because we're actually just launching the website and just launching the product, but we've had a few people who have continued to buy it and absolutely loved it, and those people came to us through Chris. and through through the people that his team got the product to as part of the study. They've continued to use it because of what it did for them during treatment.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. And a lot of our people also are super concerned, like we are with toxic products that, even we use non-toxic shampoo, even though things are labeled these days as non-toxic, and then you read the ingredients and you're like, this
Yeah,
isn't really it's not, there's still things in here that I don't want on or in my body. So I love that this is so safe you could, drink it, you said. So,
yeah. Like I said, you wouldn't would be very expensive to drink a lot of it.
mhm.
But yes, it is food safe, and I could talk you through the ingredients that are in there. Because we have a set of actives, and they're all very specific. Each one has a purpose. The first starts with chaga, and we all know this mushroom, and it's
Our
obviously where
favorite.
everything starts for us. But there's a very specific part of the chaga where those compounds are stored, and it's in this layer right here, which is the mantle. The skin of chaga, as you know, is mostly melanin. And then the core right here is where the triterpenoids are. Or sorry, the mantle is where the triterpenoids are, and then the core is mainly antioxidants, polysaccharides, beta glucans. So we're going after this section. And one of the great things about the chaga that we get from the Fairbanks area is the colder it is, and actually the drier it is, the less precipitation you have, the further north that it is, the more that you get of these compounds. So we're able to get with our harvest network the highest levels of those compounds in their purest form in chaga. So that's the basis for it, and that's our polar chaga that we use specifically. We get chaga from around Alaska, but for the hair products, we're using the chaga specifically from the Fairbanks and North area.
Hmm.
Um, and then we utilize what are called exosomes, which are polypeptides. So, do you know what stem cells are?
Yeah.
So stem cell treatment is pretty well established. During the growth of stem cells, they're grown in a solution, and that solution is basically a dialed up water that they're growing in. But while the stem cells are growing, they exude the exosomes, which are peptides that come from the cellular replication, and then the stem cells are harvested, and the liquid that's left over is full of nutrients. So they're branch chain proteins and peptides and polypeptides, and so we utilize some of those, and those are really a magnification tool. They're horsepower for for the chaga. And you'll find, there are a few products on the market that are strictly built on that, but they don't have the rest of what we're doing, and they certainly don't have the chaga. But even just that will regrow your hair, because it is, it's a fantastic compound. You're regrowing your cells.
Hmm.
And then we utilize rosemary and mint, which are both very, very good for your scalp and for hair regrowth as actives. We have CoQ10. We have a lactobacillus ferment, which is a milk lactobacillus, and then the final we have some matcha caffeine, green tea caffeine, because that helps stimulate hair regrowth as well. And then the lab that we work with in Kansas City has developed a nanoparticulate micellar delivery system. And so what's amazing about that is it breaks all of the compounds down into a very small form so that they're able to penetrate through this delivery system. They're able to penetrate through the skin and through the shield, the sheath around the hair follicle, and get directly to it in that second layer of your dermis. And so that sheath is made of basically of sunflower lecithin. And so, comes from sunflowers, and it's a pretty well-known compound, phosphatidylserine. And so it's a liquid phosphatidylserine that is our delivery system that all of the other compounds are nano-encapsulated into.
Wow,
So
that is amazing. That's a lot of big words I'm not sure that I know.
I know. Well, I say them because if anyone wants to know what you look at the ingredients on the back, you look at the ingredients on our website, which is the company is PTP Naturals. You can see
Mhm.
that. So it's ptpnaturals.com. And if you look on the website, it talks about all the ingredients and why we use them and what goes into it. Like I said, it was definitely a process that took us years to determine exactly what would be in there, what ratios they should be in. And we did them in different ratios for the lash or the brow. This is the brow tube product, and then this is the lash product. And so we had to make them slightly differently because the follicles are different, and especially with the lash, we found that initially there was some irritation because of the levels of certain things. Because if anything touches your eyeball, your eyeballs are extremely sensitive, and something that would be fine on the rest of your skin, if it hits your eyeballs, there's irritant. So, so we had to shift some of the compounds in there so that there would be as little irritation to the eye as possible if it gets in there.
Yeah.
I will say I love this packaging.
Thank you.
I've seen this in our closet upstairs, and I never knew this was your product until we really never talked about this. So it feels good to open. I do have a question though. When we think of like lashes and brows, like I guess as a young guy, like I think like women use that. Men don't really pay attention to their their eyelashes or their eyebrows. Are all of these three for men as well out there?
They are for men as well, and specifically, I think the brow is more for men. In during treatment, because you can lose. I mean, during treatment, you can lose your beard,
Hmm.
you lose your brows, and you can even lose like your body hair. So that's really more specifically the brow tends to be there. It's for both because you have women that have either had their brows removed and they didn't grow back right, and or for men who if you lose you don't think about it as a young guy, or even I'm in my 50s and I've had my brows forever. They're what they are, and I don't necessarily think about it. But if you lost them,
Mm.
then you would definitely think about it.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where if your brows start falling out, you're like, whoa, I need something, to because I mean, we all want to look like Mr. Clean, not really.
A lot of women it's popular now to be doing tattooing
Yeah.
eyebrows on. And I would think this would be a much safer and cleaner way to try before you would jump to, you know,
Yeah.
tattooing
Yeah,
eyebrows on.
to permanent ink underneath the skin of your face. I mean, I know that's some people's thing, but it's not necessarily mine.
Sure.
And
Sure.
Now,
I think if you
Zach,
can avoid it,
Zach didn't go through chemo treatment,
yeah.
but a lot of other people do. Um, but I'm kind of thinking, I know people in my life who struggle with thyroid and their hair is thinning and falling out because of their thyroid not being balanced. So do you have any studies on that or experience, or could you speak into, I mean, other ways that people may want to use this outside of chemotherapy treatments?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so it addresses, all forms of hair, regardless of what the reason is
Sure,
that
right.
you hair, it helps with, it's specifically for that. So some of the case studies that we did during our clinicals were specifically women dealing with hormonal hair loss,
Mhm.
be it pre or menopausal, as well as also thyroid related. And so it definitely helps with that. And that is it's a big concern, because women will deal with birth control related hair loss. There's a lot of factors that can drive hair loss in men and women. The most common reason for men, obviously, is just male pattern, and it's genetic. And for anyone who's dealing with that, you want to fight it off. I'm fortunate that I don't have it back here, but when I was 30 years old, the long slow march started backward on my forehead, and
This is
I've
why
been
this is
using
why
it.
Zach is growing his hair out.
It's the long slow march, and it just the soldiers start getting depleted on the front line. So like I've been using it, and notice I've got like
Oh,
there's something to grow back. So I'm thrilled. I'm hoping like in 6 months it's going to be all the way back down to here. But I have like little markers on my head. I can tell by the moles. Like everyone's got little freckles and moles, and I was tracking the moles and looking. I'm like, oh, let's see, it's now grown back. Like this little
good.
tiny one right here. It was back about half a centimeter behind that, and now it's grown back to cover the front of it. So I'm fighting the long slow march. But we have people who have completely regrown on the crown of their scalp, and
You
you
know
know
what's popular now too is people flying to what, Turkey? You were just watching this video.
Yeah.
People are flying to Turkey for hair transplants.
in transplants.
I guess
Yeah.
it's cheaper outside of the US, but that's becoming a thing too.
Well, Turkey is actually there's a few reasons why. Yes, because Turkey has some of the best doctors as far as that goes, and they are very experienced in it. But Turkey also has a large supply of people that will basically sell you their hair.
Hmm.
So it's not just your hair. You're going there and then they're finding a matching donor and they're taking their hair and putting it in your head.
Interesting.
Does that compromise like DNA or any like
I mean, I wonder about stuff like that, but I guess, it's the same thing as any other kind of transplant. If you go and you get somebody else's heart or kidney put inside you, then it's definitely going to have somewhat of an effect because you're putting your DNA together with theirs.
hmm
Hmm.
So, and that's what you like. A lot of times you'll have people who have had major transplant surgery who things have definitely changed within them, and they'll start feeling there've been some really really interesting studies, like how twins have a connection, identical twins. And so there have been people who one of the identical twins has passed away and they were an organ donor, and the person who got their organ then all of a sudden started to. Sorry, I've got a barking dog over here. The people who then got that organ started to get those twin symptom effects where they could literally tell where in the world and what direction in the world their twin was. And so there's been some pretty cool studies on that. But yeah, I mean, there's no question that it would, and I think this is definitely preferable to spending $30,000 to fly to Turkey and get somebody else's hair stuck in your head.
yeah.
So that might be a little faster.
Uh, yeah, for sure. So, okay, well, if someone walk us through if someone was going to use this as the hair rejuvenation serum, there
Yeah.
is, can you walk me through like
Yeah.
I know it
So
comes with directions, but
it does, but I've got one over here too. So
okay.
these are your bottles. This is your basically your stash, and then this is the applicator. And so one of the things about the applicator is that it works basically like a ballpoint pen. So if
Okay.
you see on the bottom of it, there are things that are depressed when you press down and do this with it. So what that does is it's releasing a small amount of it, and then it also stimulates hair growth because it's working as a massager.
Sure. Yeah.
So you take the bottle and you pull the little cap off the top
Okay.
and you pour it from the bottle inside like that and fill it up a little bit and then put your cap back on top and apply.
Do you do
Um,
this before a shower, after a shower?
after you shower in the morning and once you've dried off your hair, I usually some depending upon how your routine is. Some people brush their teeth beforehand. Some people brush their teeth afterward.
Hmm.
But almost everyone puts on deodorant afterwards or whatever they're going to do in terms of that. So that's kind of generally how I am. The first thing I do is shower, and then I do, um, brush teeth, deodorant, hair.
Okay.
And so I kind of
So,
do it in that order, and that's my routine. And I think that's kind of the key with this is get into a routine because you're going to start to see the effects within about 6 weeks, and within about 6 weeks you will have gone through one of the two bottles that are in here because this is a 3 month supply.
oh, okay. That's great.
So each of them is designed around being a 3 month supply of that particular product. So
So, okay, my you after I shower, I rarely blow dry my hair.
yeah.
Is it okay to put it on wet?
So you don't want it. It's not necessarily for the hair itself. You want it on the scalp.
Scalp. Okay.
So you can definitely do. I mean, like if you just make sure that it's somewhat dry. I know longer hair, there's kind of more to deal with.
Hmm.
But yeah, even as long as it's somewhat dry, and then you get underneath the hair with it and
Yeah.
apply it to the scalp. That's what you're trying to do.
And is it
And
like the whole scalp or maybe just areas that you're trying to
it's the
regrow it?
areas that you're trying to address. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
I mean, I've lost
that,
every time.
that's
I've,
simple, you know. But also like for me, I mean, like for me, this kit lasts 6 months because I'm not using as much of it because I'm not trying to do my whole scalp. I'm just here at the front. Um, and then also, you can, if you want, put a little tiny bit on directly from the bottle. If you're if you're in a hurry,
Mhm.
more comes out of this faster. So
Yeah.
what I'll do is I'll just go bleep and then rub it around for 5 seconds and
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's the kind of faster solution if you don't want to spend 45 to 60 seconds actually going over the whole area. You could just kind of plop 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 plop, do a couple drops, and then run this over in through under the hair and get it done. If you're trying to address a wider area and not do as much or
How
not.
long should you wait until you wash it out?
You definitely want to let it absorb, and it's best if you do it at the beginning of your day and then you don't wash it for at least several hours. Um,
Do women say that their hair is greasy?
no, it's not going to have that effect.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're
That's
basically
good.
trying to get it on the base, and it actually it'll help. I mean, it's going to give it a little bit. It's like kind of like salt spray in that way.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Wow. That's awesome.
It'll help a little bit with control, but it shouldn't create any grease. And then, brow is pretty, that one's a little more self-explanatory. You just boom, right along the eyebrow.
Okay.
With the lash, you would do that. You don't want to try to put it directly on the lashes. What you're doing is, and it's actually easier if you do this in a mirror, but you're doing a line right above. When's the last time you saw a man doing that?
There was a Shark Tank idea about like men care. It wasn't like for hair regrowth, but I did just see that. Hey,
So,
it's
but yeah,
demonstration. Oh, it's demonstration. You're good.
I think
you're
I
doing
might be able to use
doing a
this as
line.
blackmail someday.
Yeah, no, I'm not that insecure. So you're basically doing a line right above your eyelashes, and then you can kind of use your finger to get it down onto the follicles. Because if you try to apply it directly to the lash, that's not where you want it. You want it at the skin at the base of the lash because that's the follicle, and B, you're probably going to end up getting it in your eye. And no matter what you do, even water can irritate your eye. So even your tears irritate your eyes. So if you do get it directly in your eye, you know, give it a quick flush and it'll go away within 15-20 seconds.
Hmm.
And like I said, it's non-toxic, so it's not gonna hurt, but nonetheless, you might get a little irritation if you put it directly on. So that's why we say go above and then just slightly wipe it down onto it.
Hmm. Cool. Well, thank you so much. I'm super excited. How can people get this?
So you can get it at our website, which is PTP Naturals, plural.com, ptpnaturals.com.
Okay.
And we are doing a special on there for you guys. So Laby 10 will get a 10% discount, and that is stackable upon any other discounts that are on the website. So there's first time buyer and stuff like that, but you'll get that stacked with your discount. And then we are on Instagram. We're at PTP Naturals, and then we are also being distributed in Australia and Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and UK and Europe. So we'll be having it set up so that you can go to the website and then click, and depending on where you are, it will transfer you to the GTIN Shopify address for the location that you can do fulfillment for you. And the same codes will apply across all territories. So wherever you order from, it'll come from that location, same price in all territories. And so we've kind of built it that way so that it's really even and simple across everywhere in the world. We are doing a giveaway, and since we just started up, we're looking to build our Instagram following. So I'll let you set up the particulars of that. You're better at that than I am, but for one person, we're going to give the grand prize, which is like, so in our study we showed that at 6 months of use you get your kind of amazing results, because the hair growth cycle is 6 months. So if you use it for 6 months straight, you're going to get some amazing results. We've had like between 65 and 85% resolution of male pattern baldness on the crown, which is insane. We have people like growing their hair back that had lost it decades ago. So that grand prize will be two of these and one of each of the lash and brow. So it's a full package supply, and we'll do that for one person. Then we're going to give away 4 individual single hair kits, and we're going to give away 5 of the choice of either lash or brow. So you'll be doing that and setting it up, basically bringing trying to boost our following and get the word out there. And with all these, obviously, we would love anyone who starts using it to post. And so, if you've got anyone who wants to do that, then and who wants to post about their experience with it, then let me know and we'll set something up with them.
Okay.
Now, can you buy all of these as a bundle or are they individual?
So they are all individual, but you can do a bundle purchase.
Okay. Cool.
Do a bundle and save.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you. We're
What?
super excited to share this with the world for you.
Yeah, thank you very much, and it's great talking to you as always. I'm
Yeah.
glad to see you healthy, Zach.
Yep.
I love every time I get a report that you're, that you've got the zero count, man. That's the magic count.
That's
That's what
right.
we want. So, glad to hear it,
Yeah.
and thank you for talking to me about this. We're really, really excited about this product and what we've accomplished with it so far and what we're going to be able to do for people. And just happy to be able to get it out there with you. Um, God bless you both
Yeah.
and your family.
Thank you. You too. And good luck with your launch.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
All right. We'll see ya.